Hey, this is Shalondabynum, and I decided today I'm going to introduce myself before I begin. So, I am originally from Baltimore, Maryland, and now living in North Carolina. And I wrote a book called Successful, Beautiful, but Single. So, it's not a bashing book about men or anything like that. It's actually about me sharing some of my funny, crazy dating stories over the years as I working on myself. You know, a lot of times we tend to think or say, oh, I'm single because of the next person, or this person did this to me. I personally wanted to do some work on myself, so when I do find my person, I would be completely ready, open to receive and give love. So that's what my book is about. It just talks about my journey, some things I put in place, things I had to work on myself to become the amazing, beautiful woman I am today. And, hope you pick that up. You can get that off my website. So, anyway, today's topic, I'm going to talk about struggle love. I personally hate that topic. I just want to get that off the top of my head. Like, ugh. I heard somebody on another podcast talking about relationships, a man and a woman being together. It happened to be a black woman who was discussing this. And her story was very positive. But she had brought up, a lot of times when couples get together, it's always that struggle love in the beginning. I can admit, in the past, I've had that type of struggle love. I hate that term. I really do. The word struggle being an adjective, love being a noun. I hate it. However, I decided to, if I hate that word, and I hate those two words together, what is it that I can do personally to change the narrative on that term, struggle love? So, enjoy my little talk this morning. Here we go. So, struggle love. We're going to work on clearing that up. I am big on therapy. I personally feel as though before I get into my next serious relationship, therapy is top of the list. Couples therapy. We all have our own baggage, especially as you get older, you have your own, you're setting your ways about things. And a lot of times when two people are coming together, two different backgrounds, you're going to clash, you're going to bump heads, no matter how much love the two of you have together and in between each other. You're going to bump heads a little bit. Even if it's the beginning of a relationship, a lot of times when you're trying to get to know someone and one of the other person has their own wall built up, and it's like you're banging at that wall to try to get through to express, hey person, I'm interested, in beginning stages of a relationship when you're dating, that's an important time for you to try to get to know each other. But if I gotta keep bringing my sledgehammer every time I gotta go on a date or I'm seeing you and I gotta keep banging at your wall, we ain't going nowhere, So today with struggle love, we're gonna change that. We're gonna talk about rebuilding love. Get out the word, let's throw out the word struggle, and let's talk about rebuilding love. Starting with a foundation, like I mentioned, couples therapy. Once you get to the point where you're serious, think about it. There's nothing wrong. If you can't sit and talk openly with your partner about who you are, what makes you, that unique person that you are, and you can't openly discuss that thing. And that does not necessarily mean you pulling up, past things and, oh, this happened to me and I'm this person. If you're this broken person, first of all, and if you're still hurting from your past, you should first work on doing therapy on your own and getting some help with that. I'm talking more in lines with two people coming together and trying to unite and bring themselves together and become one. That's what I'm discussing. So, with that, the good relationships, in my opinion, because I've had relationships. I've been married. I was married for 8 years. I've been in several long-term relationships throughout the years. But in my 40s, I find myself single. And in some ways, I will say it's by choice because I'm not quick to jump into a relationship. I personally want to take my time to get to know someone to build that strong underlying foundation. I'm at a different point in my life, have a little bit more to offer, so we can't just take anything. So back to what I was saying. Foundation. You know, communication. A lot of times people don't want to talk openly about how they feel. I personally, if I cannot tell you how I feel or think, as long as it's not in a nagging or bashing, or if I'm trying to attack you sort of way, if I cannot communicate with you, you're not the one. If every day that I am seeing you, if I can't feel like you're my friend beyond just being my lover, you're not the one. I know, and what I've learned over the years, it's okay to say, hey, you know, for the person that I am and for the things that I want for myself, this person is not the one. They may be a great person. They're just great for someone else and not me. And that's okay, you know. Have you ever had that situation where, you know, you really are into this person, you know, they have great qualities, but at the core of who you are, that person is just really not the one, you know. And sometimes it's hard to walk away, but what I've learned, and when I talk to other people about things, yeah, it's hard in the beginning. You know, it is. You hurt, you cry, you sad, you mope, but in the end, you'll be a stronger, better person from this. The key thing is here, and what a lot of people fail at, is when they are hurting from things, instead of them taking the time to go heal themselves, they go out here and they go fishing for something new, somebody new, and then their intentions are wrong, you know? And you coming out here into the world fishing is what I'm calling it, looking for someone else with bad intentions, you'll come across a great, amazing person who is actually ready and open for a relationship and who's serious about things, and you'll ruin them because you're hurting, you know? So with that in mind, it's important that we individually work on ourselves to be stronger. So if we come across that person who's out here fishing, throwing their rod, trying to cast because they ain't did the back work and healed themselves, we gotta know, like, oh, let me block that. Let me get away from that. That ain't no good for me. You know, you gotta know when to say enough is enough and walk away. You don't have to do it in a malicious way. You know, we're grown out here. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not fussing. I'm not fighting with you. As a matter of fact, when I go silent, that means I've had enough, because I'm a talker. If I get to the point where I have stopped talking, I'm going to walk away. Whether I tell myself, you know, it's okay to, you know, cry about it. I give myself 24 hours to cry about it. I'm going to cry in the shower. But then after that, I got to pick up all my pieces, and I have to move forward. You know, we're not trying to end up in a struggle love situation in today's time. You know, life is short. There's so many beautiful things out there to see, so much good food to eat. You know, we're supposed to be enjoying life. I personally want to meet amazing, good people, travel the world. You know, I want to be surrounded by wonderful, amazing, unique people who have something to offer. So, with that being said, I hope my little morning talk, you know, gave you something to think about, you know. And if you are hurting from a situation, you know, it's okay to talk about it. Write some of your thoughts down. You know, journaling is pretty good. You know, record things. And then therapy. There's nothing wrong with going to therapy. So, again, my name is Shalondabynum. You know, check out my ebook, Successful, Beautiful, But Single, on my website, shalondabynumebooks.com. It was great talking to you. Have an amazing day.